Welcome back to Positions Taken, where every call was backed by data, not noise. Let's break it down. I personally hold two MSFT LEAPS contracts at the $450 strike, expiring January 2028. So when Microsoft drops, I feel it. MSFT is down 19% year to date, trading at $393. The S&P 500 is up 7% this year. That is a 26-point performance gap. Today, I am answering three questions. Why is it falling? How much further can it go? And should you panic sell or load up? 6 reasons MSFT is going down right now, all hitting at the same time. 1. Class action lawsuit. On June 15th and 16th, multiple investor rights firms filed a securities lawsuit against Microsoft. They allege executives concealed a material deceleration in Azure growth, downplayed the $190 billion AI CapEx, and hid structural issues in Copilot. This is a direct allegation of securities fraud against the executive team. 2. Azure growth deceleration. Azure grew 39% in Q2. Impressive on the surface, but below expectations for the second consecutive quarter. One analyst called it a sign that Microsoft's cloud and AI growth is peaking. Deceleration at scale is the single biggest valuation risk for a growth stock. 3. $190 billion CapEx with free cash flow going negative. Microsoft is spending $190 billion on AI infrastructure in 2026, up 66% year over year. Free cash flow growth has turned negative. The market is asking the same question as with Meta and Amazon. When does this spending generate visible returns? 4. Copilot pricing shift. Microsoft moved Copilot from a fixed subscription to usage-based pricing. Revenue unpredictability on a premium price stock is a red flag for institutional investors. 5. $3 billion Oracle cloud deal collapsed. A major cloud leasing deal with Oracle reportedly fell apart over security concerns. $3 billion in expected revenue? Gone. 6. Insider selling. $5.6 million in insider sales over the past 3 months. Small in isolation, but adds to the negative sentiment in the current environment. How much further can MSFT fall? Current price, $393. PE compressed from 30.1 times to 22 times this year. Analyst consensus target, $561 to $570, implying 42 to 45% upside. Lowest analyst target, $415. Highest, $680. 0 sell ratings. 3 downside scenarios. Scenario 1. Mild drop. Fed rate pressure and tech headwinds push MSFT to $370 to $380. Key technical support zone. Only 3 to 5% further downside. Scenario 2. Lawsuit escalation. If the class action gains traction or Microsoft issues an earnings warning, $340 to $350 becomes realistic. A 32 to 35% drawdown from all-time highs. Scenario 3. Earnings miss. If Azure growth decelerates badly on July 28th, $310 to $320 is the absolute bare floor. My base case. MSFT holds $370 to $380 support, stabilizes, and re-rates higher if July 28th earnings show Azure reacceleration. Key upcoming catalysts. Mark these dates. July 28th, 2026. Q4 FY 2026 earnings. The single most important date for MSFT right now. EPS estimate $4.24. Revenue expected $87.61 billion. The market needs Azure growth to hold 35% or above and any positive commentary on the lawsuit. A strong print here ends the bear case immediately. Fed rate path. Any CPI data showing inflation cooling increases probability of rate cuts, which directly lifts high multiple growth stocks like MSFT. Lawsuit developments. Any motion to dismiss or escalation will immediately move the stock. Should you panic sell or buy? My honest answer as someone holding 2 LEAPS contracts at $450 strike January 2028. Do not panic sell. The fundamentals have not broken. Revenue $82.9 billion last quarter, up 18%. Azure grew 39%. AI revenue run rate $37 billion, growing at 123%. The business is strong. The stock is being punished by the lawsuit, CapEx fears, and macro rate pressure, not by actual business deterioration. But I am not loading up aggressively before July 28th earnings either. The lawsuit creates headline risk. Azure deceleration needs resolution. The Fed dot plot adds macro pressure. My plan: hold my current 2 LEAPS. Watch $370 as the line in the sand. If MSFT drops to $360 to $375 before July 28th, I add more. If July 28th earnings show Azure reacceleration and positive lawsuit commentary, that is the signal to buy aggressively. Best entry for new buyers: $360 to $380 before July 28th. That is where risk-reward is most favorable, with 45% upside to the analyst consensus. Subscribe so you do not miss my live July 28th earnings reaction video. Drop a comment. Are you holding, selling, or waiting to buy the dip on MSFT? See you next time.